Hey guys. We'll see if anybody's around. I'm just gonna, it won't let, oh no, now it will. I'm gonna see if I can invite people. I'm just inviting a whole bunch right now. I know this is a terrible time of day to go live because lots of people are working. Let's be honest here, but I thought, you know, it's 11:30. If I go live now, it might mean that some of you will be coming to your lunch break and you might have an opportunity to watch in your lunch break. So I've just sent a few, oh, hey guys. Morning, Christina. Look at this, I can actually wave to people. I've only just discovered this. Morning, Catherine. I've only just discovered this little feature where you can wave to people. I know, I need to get a bit more tech savvy. So, I have been mulling this morning, as I get ready. I also wanted to go live to you this morning because I am going to be pretty absent this weekend. I've got a massive expo in Sydney, the Essential Baby and Toddler Expo in Sydney this weekend, which means tomorrow I'm down in Sydney setting up the stall. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I am down there manning the stall, and I am not going to be around. I won't be seeing tags. I won't be answering questions and things like that. So I wanted to let you know that that is going to happen. But I've been mulling this morning. I've been talking to a couple of the other people about motivation and staying motivated, especially after conference, because conference can be such a big thing. You know, we have this massive high and we get filled with so much goodness, and we come home, and usually for about the week after we're still quite motivated and high, and we've got things happening, and we're wanting to action all of the ideas that are shared at conference. But then, hey Prue, welcome. But then but then sometimes life gets in the way and doubts start to creep in, and if you are in that position where you're coming off the conference high down to a conference low at the moment, I want you to know that you are not alone. By any stretch of the imagination, you're not alone. It is a thing. It's a real thing. And so I wanted to chat about some of the things that we can be doing to stay motivated, to make sure that we continue to be motivated. And I've got my journal here to share a few little rather embarrassing things with you, but I'm going to share them with you anyway. Okay, so for as long as I can remember, I don't know if you'd say criticized, but my family have always kind of made fun of the fact that I have an imagination. I have a wild imagination, and I daydream a lot. I would often forget to get off the bus because I was daydreaming and I forgot my bus stop. And so you know what I used to do? I would just sit there on the bus. I wouldn't even get off at the next bus stop, guys. Like, I would just sit there until the end. I wouldn't know what to do, even though I did this often. So when I was in early primary school, my mum thankfully was not working yet. She wasn't working full time because, you know, she had my little brother as well, that she was looking after. So she would actually be able to know. She would see the bus go past, and me not get off, and so she'd know, oh, Tam's daydreaming again. They always say, in fact, Mum and Dad made up this poem, and I should see if they still have it. They made up this poem about me when I was in primary school, and it was about, you know, how I just would never get stuff done because I always had my head in the clouds. And it was true. I would spend my days, I would write stories, and I would spend my days imagining stuff. Yeah, it's gold, Prue. I would spend, even as a teenager, I forgot to get off the bus. Anyway, thankfully I don't do that so much now. But I would spend my days imagining. I imagined how my life would be. I would daydream about how my life would be, and I haven't changed. I'm still the same. I have a brilliant imagination. I imagine what I'm going to be wearing the day my TP, the day my dash clicks over to global director. I imagine what my clothes are going to look like, and I imagine that I'm going to have perfect makeup because we're going to have a great beauty line. And I imagine that, you know, I'm going to go out and get my hair done, and I have this great wild imagination. I imagine I know exactly what it's going to feel like when I go and buy a brand new car for my husband, because he's going to need one soon, and I'm going to pay cash for the brand new car for him. I imagine exactly what it's going to feel like to buy our next house and not have to worry about selling the old one. I know exactly what I'm going to say to my house cleaner when I hire her for the first time and let her know that she has a full-time weekly gig at my house because I'm never going to wash a window ever again. I imagine flying my family to international conference first class, and I know exactly how it's going to feel to buy those first class tickets so that we don't turn up looking like we've been dragged through a knothole backwards, sitting in economy. I imagine all of this stuff. Just bear with me a moment. Yes?
Mommy, do you know where my green tractor is?
Yes.
Who is it?
It is your green tractor. I saw it just recently. Go have a look downstairs in the spare bedroom, in Mickey's old bedroom. It's down there next to the bed. Okay, sorry guys. You know, mum life. It's just the way it is. Now, I don't imagine all of these things because I'm proud of, or arrogant, or I'm full of myself. I don't imagine them because of that. But I imagine them because I believe with every single fiber of my being that the only thing standing between me and achieving the goals that I want is my willingness to work for it. So if I am willing to work for it, there's every chance, it's almost certain that I'm going to achieve those crazy goals. But the point I'm wanting to make is this. You don't know, if you don't know what those goals are, you don't know what you're going to be working towards. So one of the first ways to stay motivated when you are coming down is imagine in really great detail what you are wanting to work towards. Imagine that in really great detail. Spend 20 to 30 minutes actually daydreaming about what your kitchen's going to look like, or what your house is going to look like, what your car. Just a little sidebar here. I recently just spoke to one of my friends who works full time. She works really hard, really hard. She deserves everything that she has. She has her car detailed every month. That's the latest thing that she's added to her list of luxuries. She has her car personally detailed every month, washed inside and out. How amazing is that? I'm adding it to my list, people. So be very specific about what you want your life to look like and how you want it to play out. And then write it down. Write it in a dream journal, write it on a piece of paper, write it in your computer, whatever, write it in your phone. Write it down. What do you want it to look like? Write it down and be very specific. Why am I saying that you need to do this? Well, the reason I'm saying is because when we fall off the wagon, and everyone's going to do it. We're all going to fall off the wagon. We're all going to have those lows. And sometimes the lows are going to be really low. I mean, unless you're an alien or some sort of cyborg robot, you're going to have a low. Let's just be honest here. But the quickest way to climb back up after the low is being able to look at that vision and being able to almost taste and remind yourself what the success tastes like. Another powerful tool to help you get through the mundane jobs of every day is by writing down a list of 10 things that you are going to achieve. I'm not talking about like a to-do list for the day. I'm talking about 10 lofty, we're talking lofty things that you are going to achieve on this journey to success. Now, you don't have to actually share these with people, because like if I shared you my list, you'd probably think I was some sort of crazy. They are minorly embarrassing sorts of things. And if I shared them with you, you would probably think she is incredibly materialistic. But I don't care. They're my list. They're my things. Okay, so one of the things on my list is, and these are things that you write down regularly. Like I am writing them on a weekly basis. I write them down, and sometimes I change them, and sometimes I add to them. So maybe sometimes you've got more than 10. Okay, so a couple of things on my list is I am strong, I am slim, and I look fabulous. And now that we have trim, like there's no point where we can't achieve those amazing things on our list. Another really, I don't know, crazy thing, and it might be just a waste of money, I don't know, but another thing on my list is I always fly a minimum of business class. I always fly business class. I have done lots of flying in the last 3 years, and I don't know about you guys, but I am over economy. It sounds really bad and really materialistic, but I'm over economy. The next couple of times I fly to the US, I want to fly business class. I want to be able to have the revenue to fly business class so that I can sleep. I want to be able to take my family so they can sleep too, so that we don't get sick. So those are a couple of things on my list. Now you notice the way I spoke about them. I spoke them as if they had already happened. I am strong, slim, and I look fabulous. So I write it down as if it's already happened. I always travel business class or first class. I write it down as if it's already happened. Christina, I heard someone speak once, and she said she knows exactly the plane she's going to buy when she buys her first plane. So maybe my dreams aren't so lofty at all. So I write them down as if they've already occurred. And the reason why we do this is we've talked about this. We've talked about the brain, the psychology and the science of the brain. And the brain acts as if, like the brain doesn't know the difference between a to-do list and reality. So if you write down the things as if they've already occurred, it's like the brain is totally saying to your body, come on body, we got to catch up because she's slim, she's strong, she looks fabulous. So, body, you need to catch up with it. Bear with me a minute. Yes?
Mickey's not letting me watch that movie.
Who's not letting you?
Mickey.
Well, maybe it's not a suitable movie for you.
And I
You wait a minute. When I
want
finish
it.
this, I'll put a different one on for you.
And I know-
Sorry,
and
guys.
Mickey's got
Hashtag mum life.
it. And then
Dude,
Mickey's got
you
her
need...
own
We had
one.
a talk about this. Remember? I played with you. You're going to let me do this on live. I may have to cut this video short.
Mickey's got her own movie.
Yeah, and it's probably not suitable for you to watch. I'll put a movie on for you in a minute. Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Thank you, darling. Bless them. Okay, so, yeah, so if you're writing it down as if it's already happened, it's like your brain is telling the rest of your body, come on, it's time for you to catch up. This is the way of the world. So it's a great, it's like you're tricking your brain. It's great. Another way to stay motivated when you are feeling really flat and really low is to make sure you're filling your mind and your body with positivity. Now, if you've been following my Top Tip Tuesdays with Tam in the Better Together group, you know we're talking all about positivity at the moment. It's all about the positive bus. But you know, sometimes it's really hard to actually get that positivity from yourself. It's really hard to be able to draw it out of your core, especially when you're feeling flat and really low. So when you are in that state, excuse me, Jara, stop playing with my table, dude. This is what my tripod's on. When you are feeling flat and low like that, it's a good idea to start drawing upon the positivity of others. I love listening to I love listening to motivational people. I love surrounding myself with motivational people. I love reading, and I usually read lots of motivational stuff, but I'm finding at the moment I don't have enough time to read as much as I used to. So I'm starting to listen to lots of podcasts and lots of YouTube videos. And I try and find something to listen to at least once a day. So if you are wanting to surround yourself with positivity, now here's the thing, guys, too. I look at, some people who I chat with lots of people every day. Even if I don't leave the house, I end up chatting to lots of people, and people who are really struggling. I ask them about, what's some of the things that they're doing. And there's this one person in particular who I have spoken a lot to. She's just a field person since conference. And she's really flat, really low. And so, I asked her to be really frank with me about what she's doing. And it turns out, she's consuming Netflix. She's consuming hours and hours of Netflix each day, and she's watching TV shows that are really dark, and they're not uplifting at all by any stretch of the imagination. And I really want you to understand that it's so important to be filling yourself. The media that you consume can sometimes become intertwined into the fabric of your being. So if you are constantly watching and listening to dark and depressing and negative stuff, then that's going to take over your personality and your persona. So and the opposite works as well. If you are constantly surrounding yourself with positivity, then you're just going to be able to shine that positivity back out again. So if you're wanting to do some people to listen to, podcasts are a great thing. You can download podcasts onto your phone and then put your earbuds in. Podcasts are a great thing. So Jenna Kutcher is a great person to listen to. Impact Theory, Annette and I have spoken about Impact Theory a lot. Mel Robbins, I love Mel Robbins. I'm going to talk about her next. How I Built This is another really cool channel to listen to. It's all about interviews from people who built companies from the ground up, and they're everyday people. They're people like us. They're just entrepreneurs who just decided they didn't want to keep working a 9-to-5 job. And Gary Vaynerchuk is like he's pretty full on, but he's great to listen to. Tony Robbins is another good one. Rachel Hollis is great to listen to as well. So there's some podcasts that you can surround yourself with so that you are constantly motivating. Let someone else's energy carry you when you feel like your energy is low. Okay, so Mel Robbins. This is fourth way of keeping ourselves going. Mel Robbins has this amazing, and I can put a link to it in the comments of this video if you like, but Mel Robbins she's a mum, she was a lawyer, and she's now a motivational speaker. So she has this book called The 5-Second Rule. And the 5-second rule is this: your brain can talk you out of something. And I totally can do that, Prue. Your brain can talk you out of something. It takes 20 seconds, roughly, 18 to 20 seconds for your brain to talk you out of doing something. So if you make sure that you action something in 5 seconds, you can trick your brain. You can actually do it. Barb talks to us a lot about the 20 seconds of courage, and that's why it just takes the 20 seconds of courage and get something done. Well, I'm changing. Let's do the 5 seconds of courage. So Mel Robbins says that if you count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it, and then you just do it, you can achieve greatness. And I do it a lot. At the moment, I basically do it to get my ass out of bed in the morning. I know it sounds really sad, but I've gotten into this habit of picking up my phone before I even put my glasses on in the morning, guys. You know how bad that is? Picking up my phone and checking messages and notifications and Facebook and Instagram and emails and Dash, and I do all that before I get out of bed. And I'm like, I can waste an hour and a half in bed before I've even gotten up, and that is not good. That is not good. We don't want to be doing that. We want to be getting out of bed, making a bed, getting yourself dressed, brushing your teeth, and getting out that bedroom door and on with life before you even start picking up your phone. Darling, can you go onto my desk and get my water bottle for me, please?
Why?
Because I'm coughing.
Thirsty, you mean?
Yes, thank you. So I do that in the morning. I wake up. Sometimes I set an alarm, sometimes I don't. And hey, Emily. And I say to myself, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I roll out of bed before my brain can make the decision that I'm going to stay there. And I don't pick up my phone. I make my bed immediately. And I get dressed, I brush my teeth, wash my face. I pick up my phone on the way out the door. And then, thank you, darling. And I know it's only a little bit, isn't it? And then I get down to the kitchen and I get my day started. It works. It really works. So, sometimes, you know, we have jobs that we need to do, and they're jobs that are essential for us to succeed, but they're not fun jobs, they're not brilliant jobs, and we don't want to do it. So if we apply the 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we do it, amazing things can happen. Okay, so this last way, this is kind of probably one of the possibly most important ways to make sure that you stay motivated.
Can we walk to Paula's today?
We're not going to Paula's today, darling. You're sick.
Oh.
Okay. Now you guys know I'm a science teacher. So I want to apply a bit of physics here. Newton's first law of motion states that an object will remain in motion unless acted upon by an opposite and equal force. So quite simply put, an object in motion will stay in motion. We often run ourselves into the ground, so to speak. We often will have these bursts of business activity where we just do so much and then we fall in a heap. But I just need to tell you this, we have to maintain our motion. It is so much easier for us to maintain motion than it is for us to fall in a heap and have to start all over again. So once we are in motion, and I feel like a lot of us have just picked up and we've been able to get motivated and get into motion again, we need to make sure we are putting systems in place to ensure that we stay in motion. So maybe that's something that we need to talk about a little bit more, and we need to work out what we need to do, what structures we need to put in place to ensure that we don't stop and we don't quit. We can't quit. Some of us have tried to quit and we're still here. I haven't tried to quit, but some people have tried to quit and they're still here and they're just picking back up again. But once you're in motion, we've got to stay in motion. The fastest way for us to get to our goals is to not quit on ourselves ever. Don't let yourself down. Don't let yourself quit. And sometimes it means asking yourself, you know, Tam, today on Wednesday, the 19th of September, what is it that I can do in this hour to make sure that person that I want to be in the future is real? What is it that I need to do in this hour? And I look at my list of 10 things, you know, I can't go out and buy a first class ticket just yet, but what can I do in this hour that will get me to the point where I can go out and buy that first class ticket? And sometimes the answer is simple. Sometimes it means I just need to send off a few follow-up messages. Sometimes it means I need to reach out to my upline and say, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do next. What do you think I should be doing? And do a bit of a brainstorm session with them. But whatever it is, I have to make the commitment to myself that even when I am flat and I am low, that I am going to be intentional with every single hour of every single day until I achieve the dreams and the goals that I have. It's a commitment that I'm making to myself so that I can, and I'm promising myself that I'm never letting myself down ever again. At the end of each day, I'm always going to say, self, you did a good job and I would hire you today. So I just wanted to share those with you because I know that there are a few people who are starting to feel flat about, you know, whether or not they've actioned anything from conference. It doesn't matter. You know, it's never too late to actually start actioning stuff. And there are so many things that we can be doing. I could probably go on, but I need to get back to my little person because he's now got my scissors out. Okay, guys, I better go. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching. Put your comments, questions. If you've got any podcasts that you love to listen to, share them below. Prue, actually, I'm just going to go I'll have to go and have a look at what that is, Prue. So the belief factor is just missing from my bubble of awesomeness. I'm forever away in my crazy with the fairies. Oh, thanks, Christy. Just remember, guys, that nothing I say is my own words. I am a culmination of listening to 1,000 other people. Okay, I'm going to go. I'll talk to you later. Bye.